He's going to tell you about that in just a second. But we're also going to talk about the young thinking as well. And these are kind of two of the forces, two of the dynamics that keep us in that stuck place, keep our dials from really being able to change. And so Amy's going to go through victim thinking with you right now.
All right, so victim thinking, what does that mean? That means, I don't want to do it. This is too much for me. I'm too tired. I can't imagine dating right now. Anybody relate to any of that? Okay. All right, so in our victim thinking, like Andrew said, what does it do? It keeps us stuck. It keeps us home. We like to call ourselves a homebody. You know, it keeps us from going out and taking risks, which I did talk to a few people as we were mingling earlier, that risks are something that you're interested in taking, but a lot of times you choose the comfortable route because that's where you feel safe. You know you want to take the risk and it's out there, but in that fork, where do you decide to go? A lot of times, again, it's that comfortable road that you know you feel safe on, and you go right back into, I'm too tired, I'm not going to do it. And that's where we determine the victim thinking. The other things that we have a lot of are self-sabotaging, which is, you know, looking at it like, I'm too fat, this isn't going to work for me because I'm not enough for the person, or I'm too much for the person. How many of you guys can relate to that? You know, we also have magical thinking, which is, you know, kind of living in that fantasy of like, oh, if only that person would be who I wanted them to be, then I would date them. If only I could have as much money as I needed, I could afford to go on a date, to take the person out to coffee, I can afford dinner then. If only the guy would ask me, I would go on the date then, and I wouldn't have to take the risk to ask him. How many people relate to that one? All right, so yes, it looks like we have a lot of those. And then the fourth point being idealizing, and that's a lot of times when you get your comparisons of like, oh, well, this person reminds me of my ex-boyfriend, so I'm definitely not going there. This person reminds me of, you know, my friend's 3 ex-boyfriends, so they must be off limits, and a lot of times it keeps us from even meeting people at all. How many people relate to those? So that's a common theme also. So yes, we have all these things, and we term them in, you know, the lump sum of stinking thinking. Stinking thinking means these thoughts stink, they suck, they're not attractive, it's what keeps you stuck. Stinky, pewy, gross. But we all, apparently, it looks like, use these as our tools to keep us safe and comfortable. In all reality, we know that it's not very effective. But they're stinky. And we love them for whatever reason, we love them.
So who's got examples of their own stinking thoughts? Just throw a couple.